bunch of people made a lot of terrible mistakes, and we came and did what we could to get them out of a jam. I'd say, friend, if you hadn't screwed up, I wouldn't be here.
The best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
Very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads convection, conduction, and radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. We have 2 in and 2 out. I says because firefighters are worth saving.
His message was always to make a difference, to live life so that you were leaving a mark. This award shows our family that he truly made a difference.
If you've been in fires a lot, no matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, you know, they're backing you because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey God, just get me through this, you know, I'll be a good boy, and I'll go to church on Sunday, I'm going to take care of everything, get me through this.
It's a super thing, and I am very appreciative of this award. I would just like to leave one simple little message today, especially to the younger people. You can make a difference.
If my father were here this morning, he would remind us of the cold, hard fact that no leader is any greater than the men and women that he is called to lead.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
I think like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize that they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
If you can travel around and you can preach the message of professionalism and safety and for what firefighters do for this country, then I think it's all worthwhile.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I'd like to begin by expressing to each of you how honored and privileged I am to have been selected this year's recipient of the Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Tommy's a gentleman who's done so much for this fire service, a person who I can call my friend. And to be associated with his legacy is a phenomenal point in my life.
Tom Brennan, Lifetime Achievement Award. I don't know how I even fit in that equation anywhere, but I'm truly, truly, truly humbled and honored. You'll be up here, somebody, one of you will be up here next year. Thank you.
Eileen, receiving this award in your father's name is a privilege. It was Tom who encouraged me to write in Jim Murtaugh's class. To the FDIC Fire Engineering family, the Indianapolis Fire Department, my old FDIC education group, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service. Thank you all for your passion for the fire service and your passion for firefighting. Thank you.
The fire service belongs to us. It's not only duty, honor, and country, but it's duty, honor, country, and community, because you are the first line of defense.
Where'd you go? Eileen Brennan, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with incredible joy that we celebrate here a chance to recognize someone who's truly a firefighter's firefighter. William Bill Peters, known to many of us as Willie P., is one of the kindest, warmest, and gentlest men you will ever meet. There is not one member of the FDIC International or Fire Engineering family who doesn't owe Willie some immense amount of gratitude. But it's not just fire engineering and FDIC who've benefited from Bill Peters' generosity and kindness. There are thousands upon thousands of firefighters who are grateful to Bill. Bill grew up in a firehouse as a third-generation firefighter's son. One of the oldest sons of a widowed mom, he did what many young men did in the 1960s. He enlisted in the United States Army, and he served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Upon returning to civilian life, he was appointed to the New Jersey City, Jersey Fire Department in 1975. He quickly rose through the ranks, serving and receiving several departmental commendations for heroism, including the rescue of civilians and the saving of a fellow firefighter's life. Upon being promoted to battalion chief, he was appointed to apparatus supervisor. Some of the many milestones in his Jersey City career included purchasing apparatus and equipment for Jersey City's first hazmat company and the reactivation of Rescue Company 1. After a number of aerial accidents around the country being reported, he wrote the Jersey City Fire Department's aerial safety SOP. As a member of the chief's staff, he developed a water emergency plan. That was the topic of the first of more than 100 articles written for Fire Engineering magazine by Chief Bill Peters, mostly dealing with apparatus and purchasing, operations, and safety. When a member of his fire department, however, was killed in the line of duty, Chief Peters was instrumental in planning and organizing the funeral arrangements. He then offered a pamphlet called Farewell to a Fallen Firefighter, which outlined the procedures and considerations for planning a departmental funeral, which was supplied free to any fire department by Fire Engineering. After several years of gaining valuable and practical experience from on-the-job training, Chief Peters decided to share with the fire service his knowledge, and he authored the Fire Apparatus and Purchasing Handbook. Over the years, he has instructed hundreds of seminars dealing with apparatus purchasing, as well as classes on other apparatus-related issues all over the United States and Canada. After his retirement, Bill continues to serve on the NFPA Apparatus Committee as a special expert, and for the past 12 years has been the sole author of the apparatus supplement that accompanies the June edition of Fire Engineering magazine. Here are the few of the many comments that we received from Chief Bill Peters' many, many friends. Superintendent of the National Fire Academy, Dennis O'Neill.
Folks, I'm not here for the National Fire Academy. I'm here because I was a firefighter with Billy Peters. And we worked the streets in Jersey City. And we got promoted at different times, but we were promoted from lieutenant to captain in the same day, and then from captain to battalion chief the same day. And all the time that I was there, I admired the work that this man did. I had great faith in his ability, and he has changed the American Fire Service in ways that none of us can appreciate. He's done tremendous work. You all know he's written the books. But he's made our apparatus safer. He's taught us how to buy. He's taught us what not to do. I'm going to close by telling you one thing that he's too humble to tell you. Not only was he served in Vietnam twice, but he's also a disabled veteran. And I'm proud to call him friend. Billy. One last thing. Billy was among a group of men and women who built this magazine and this FDIC show. John Salka, John Norman, Glenn Corbett, Jack Murphy, Bruno, Bobby Halton, Diane Feldman, Rothschild have made what you see here today possible. And for that, I cannot thank you enough, Billy and Bobby.
From his dear friend, Assistant Chief Don Frazier of the Los Angeles, California Fire Department, I met Bill Peters when I became a principal member of the NFPA 1901 standard for automotive fire apparatus. Bill taught me over the years to never personalize an issue. When he speaks to a concern being considered by the committee, he conveys a deep knowledge and commands respect. I liken his impact on the 1901 committee to the financial stature marketed by E.F. Hutton years ago. When Bill Peters talks, people listen. To sum it up, I say you've made an excellent choice. Bill Peters' impact on the fire service is profound. From Deputy Chief Richard Landholm, Cape May, New Jersey Fire Department. I met Chief Peters when he was hired by Cape May to assist in replacing several pieces of apparatus. Chief Peters guided that process. Through his consulting, Chief Peters has used his knowledge to ensure that apparatus not only meets PERSIFER specifications, but federal safety standards as well. Through my 27 years of fire service, I have never met a man more dedicated to representing firefighters. Assistant Commissioner Tom McDonald of the Fire Department of the City of New York retired. This award is so well deserved. I was assigned to technical services at FDNY in the fall of 1994. Commissioner Howard Schaefer ordered a change in how we specify apparatus. I had written specifications for a few small volunteer fire departments, so to say I was in over my head is an understatement. Chief Ray Downey had been my captain. Ray had introduced me to Chief Peters while attending FDIC. While my name went on the FDNY specifications, it was Bill Peters' experience that went into the FDNY specifications. I owe my professional success to my friend Bill Peters. His good friend Jack Murphy added these words of praise. When you think of fire apparatus, whether it is standards, design, maintenance, vehicle specifications, technical review, safe operations of a fire truck, or specialized vehicles, the name Bill Peters stands out above all the rest. His sincere effort to improve apparatus design, operations, and safe driving skills has gained the respect of his peers as well as apparatus manufacturers. A tip of the helmet, Brother Bill, a well-deserved honor. And finally from his former boss, Frederick Eggers, Chief of Department, retired, Jersey City Fire Department, it is my sincere pleasure to congratulate Bill Peters on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is well-deserved. He served many years together with me. We came on the job together, and he made working together a rewarding experience for me, the Jersey City Fire Department, and the fire service in general. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the Tom Brennan FDIC 2015 Lifetime Achievement Award, Chief William Peters.
Wow. Thank you. I'm both honored and humbled to receive the Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Some of you remember Tom from the many seminars he did at FDIC and classes that he taught, and some of you probably don't. But I first met Tom many years ago when he was appointed the editor of the Fire Chief's Handbook. And they were looking for somebody to write the apparatus chapters, and I was recommended. Tom said in his very gruff Brooklyn kind of accent, "Who is this kid and what's he know?" Well, Tom took a chance with me, and we worked together on it, and we became very good friends. And over the years, I had gone to dinner with Tom many times with my fire engineering friends, and Tom was always the life of the party. And he would always start telling the jokes, always with the accents and dialogues that went along with it. And two things you had to know about Tom. Number one, even if you heard the joke 100 times, you did not blow the punchline. And number two, you better laugh when the joke is over because he put so much into it. I'm going to keep this short. I'd like to thank first my family, my wife Ellen, my children, Michelle, Jason, and Mary, all who put up with me during my apparatus endeavors and traveling around the country and all that. Although I have to admit, when I wrote the Fire Apparatus Handbook, I had to sit at my dining room table with my shooter's earmuffs on to block out all the noise and fighting and stuff going on in my house. I'd also like to thank my fire engineering family who make sense out of my lunatic ramblings. Bobby, Diane, Mary Jane, Rob, Derek, Ginger, Pete, everybody at Fire Engineering always have been great to me. Also, the brothers and sisters on the Fire Engineering and FDIC advisory boards, true professionals, all of them, and that's why you have this world-class training here. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the participants who come to the FDIC for training and who read Fire Engineering. Years ago when I was in the Army, the slogan at that time was, "Be all that you can be." Well, folks, you're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can. Take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
Please welcome ISFSI President Steve Pegram and the Technical Editor of Fire Engineering, Glenn Corbett.
Good morning. The International Society of Fire Service Instructors is once again pleased to be on the main stage, partnering with Penwell Fire Engineering, FDIC, for the George D. Post Instructor of the Year. We've already heard from Bobby this morning talking about the importance of the instructors, and the motto of ISFSI is where the instructors are, and I'm pretty sure that they're all right here. But let's go ahead and look at this year's award winner.
The International Society of Fire Service Instructors, in partnership with Fire Engineering and FDIC, present the George D. Post Instructor of the Year Award. The George D. Post Award is presented annually at FDIC to one fire instructor who in the previous year was recognized for his or her outstanding contribution to their fire department locally as well as nationally. This year's nominee, Eddie Buchanan, was unanimously selected by a review panel of 3 Fire Instructor of the Year Award winners, as well as Fire Engineering Editor Bobby Holton and ISFSI President Steve Pegram. Chief Buchanan is a tenured fire service instructor, Chief Officer, FDIC presenter, fire engineering author, rock and roll drummer, and even has time for a great and supportive family. Over the past few years, Chief Buchanan has had a front row seat to the fire dynamics research studies. As a past president of the International Society of Fire Service Instructors, Chief Buchanan not only helped coordinate grant-funded research, but at home worked with his peers at Hanover Fire and Rescue to determine how a countywide combination fire department should implement the fire dynamics research into their training and SOGs. The result was the development of the acronym SLICE-RS. Hanover Fire and Rescue adopted the SLICE-RS acronym into their training and standard operating procedures based upon the best practices they had observed locally and nationally. Hanover Fire and Rescue, under the leadership of Chief Jethro Pyland, shared the SLICE-RS acronym with the ISFSI, which led to the development of several more training initiatives. Chief Buchanan worked with the ISFSI, Hanover Fire and Rescue, as well as several other partner organizations in developing the Principles of Modern Fire Attack SLICE-RS video. As of March 2015, this video has been downloaded and viewed almost 70,000 times in just 6 months. The success of the SLICE-RS video led to a new training curriculum developed by the ISFSI in partnership with NIST and UL Fire researchers, including past Instructor of the Year Award winner Stephen Kerber from 2014 and Dan Majikowski from 2009. The 8-hour Principles of Modern Fire Attack program, developed by the ISFSI, was released in 2015 through a grant from the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program. Chief Buchanan was a critical contributor to the development of this program, the associated videos, sample SOGs, lesson plan, and recruitment and training of the instructor cadre. Chief Buchanan has had a long and successful career as a leader in fire service training. Most recently, he shared what he has learned as a chief and an instructor, both locally and nationally, in hopes of keeping firefighters safe while continuing to be aggressive. The Slice RS program does just that, and Chief Buchanan deserves special recognition this year for this achievement. Fire Engineering Magazine, the Fire Department Instructors Conference, in partnership with the International Society of Fire Services Instructors, are proud to bestow the 2015 George D. Post Instructor of the Year Award to Division Chief Eddie Buchanan of Hanover, Virginia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wore a shirt for this one. I got sleeves on and everything. President Pegram, Professor Corbett, Bobby, Diane, everybody at Pinwell Fire Engineering. Wow. I got to accept this award, but I accept it on behalf of a lot of different people. My wife, my beautiful family, my wife Tori, son Jake, daughter Bailey. They're on a field trip in Williamsburg today. They couldn't be here, but they'll watch it later. My ISFSI family, all the members of the International Society of Fire Service Instructors, the engineers at NIST and UL. I always think of myself as kind of like Ringo and the Beatles. They write the songs, I just make you dance, you know. That's kind of how that works. All the mentors in this room, the instructors here at Fire Engineering and FDIC, they've raised me as a kid instructor, basically. And all this stuff is absolutely a result of their leadership. My partners in crime back home, at home, you know, Chief Pylan, Division Chief Robert Phipps, Instructor Jason Burrow, all were a major part of this program and getting it kicked off. And then, most importantly, the men and women of Hanover Fire and EMS. It's one thing to develop a concept on a whiteboard, you know, but to bring it to life in the field and have the courage to do that and then the vision to make that tactical change, I mean, that makes me, I'm so proud to be a member of one of the most progressive and aggressive fire departments in the world. And finally, all the instructors that are in this room and out training today that are working to move this fire service forward. I'm not the only one that's out working on this, what comes next with our firefighting tactics. It's lots of guys and gals out doing that, and we all deserve a piece of that award for that. So with that, I say thank you, and really never underestimate the power of a fire instructor that's in the right place at the right time. And you were definitely in the right place at FDIC, and what better time than now? So I say thank you, and let's go train. Thank you very much.
You know, the one thing we didn't say about Eddie, he was a drummer for a band called Rosie's Soul and the Cosmic Cowboys, and he gives us a lot of music for free. So we really appreciate that too. And we told him he can't quit his music job because otherwise we'd have no music, right, Dan? We've got to get it for free from Eddie. So thank you, and big round of applause for Eddie once again. That was